China. North Korea.
Y'all see the money?
Two communist nuclear neighbors. Both have iconic, infamous supreme leaders. Both have been making headlines recently. Both have special economic zones. Both have massive influence over the world. Well, maybe to different extents.
I'm on, cuz.
But today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put my skyrocketing social credit score on the line by once and for all answering the question on everyone's minds right now: China or North Korea? Our first category up is beer. Yeah, I'm about to blow your mind, dude. This is Taedong-gang, North Korea's national lager. Yep.
Kim Jong-un
Apparently developed such a taste for European beer during his time growing up in Switzerland.
How you feeling, Jeff?
Oh yeah,
You drunk?
kind of, but not quite.
Okay.
That in the year 2000, he convinced his dad to cash in hand buy the brewery Ushers from Wiltshire, England. You know, where Glastonbury and Stonehenge is. Most kids beg their dads to buy them toys, magazines. Maybe you're even sneakily pleading to get a sip of your dad's beer at the Indian restaurant. I know I was. But no! This fat, drunk motherfucker Kim Jong-un asked and received an entire brewery. Everything from the tiles on the walls to the secret family recipe was handed over to North Korean delegates, who according to Usher's old head brewer were nice blokes. It was all shipped to Pyongyang, and since then the DPRK have replicated the formula, creating over 10 major breweries in the country and providing North Koreans with a steady stream of European-style golden nectar, Taedong-gang, which is described as having a fragrant, smooth, soft taste. Honestly, it sounds and looks fucking great. However, the real question is, can I betray Tsingtao? Can I betray God's elixir itself? Crispy, bitter, bubbling with positive social credit. I don't know if I can. I mean, just look at this video of me, No Fuckers, and Gatsu, 3 6-foot YouTubers by the way, taste testing this heavenly beverage in Portugal, my favorite region of China. Whoa.
That's fine.
Like music to my ears.
So, by the way,
We're gonna hear that a lot. Like the bottle looks
look
full
at
as
that.
fuck.
Look at that epic bot. Yeah, the Chinese like because
it's not focusing.
it's not beautiful design.
You're the OG CCP chill.
Literally,
I really like this.
very chuggable in my opinion. So,
it's so much lighter than your
yeah.
lager. I'm not gonna lie, first beer of the night is always gonna be the best.
Yeah, the
beer of
best.
the night.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But this is like, come on, man.
No, yeah.
This is S.
Yeah. I'd say this is a good A or S. Yeah, that's
yeah.
I've always been Tsingtao pilled.
Yeah.
nice.
By the way, that whole video is on Roman's channel, and I want to let you guys know that Andy Milanakis, the man who has a song with Chief Keef, commented on it agreeing with me. So if that is not an endorsement, I don't know what is. Sosa, put me in the mansion, bro, please. Look, man, the first thing I did when I landed in China earlier this year was drink a Tsingtao, and honestly, I want it to be the last thing I do in my life ever as well, because going out with a Tsingtao in my hand is truly the best possible way I can imagine transitioning to the afterlife. So China's gonna be taking the W with this one, I can't lie. That being said, if anyone knows any way I can get my hands on a Taedong-gang, I don't care how many bands I gotta drop, I don't care how many politicians I gotta make disappear, by slapping them in the face when there's nerve agent on my hands for what I believe is a YouTube prank. Yes, this is actually one of the methods North Korea uses to carry out their political assassinations. They recruit random innocent people from other countries via email, tell them they're on a YouTube prank show, put poison on their hands, and get them to go slap the ops of the North Korean state at locations such as Malaysian airports. Absolutely insane, right? You literally cannot make this shit up, man. And yeah, please guys, watch out for this. If you ever get a suspicious email from the owner of a YouTube prank channel asking you to go around slapping people, you know, it's not 2015 anymore. Chances are it's the North Korean government, so just watch out for that, guys. But to be fair, I might consider doing something like this if I was being repaid in Taedong-gang. Like, bro, I don't care if I got to sail from China to Taiwan and plant a communist flag, I'll do it. And maybe then I can amend this section. Alternatively, if the DPRK can prove to me that they actually created hangover-free alcohol like they claim, North Korea can get an honorary dub in the future. All you gotta do is hit my line, Kim. Send me a DM, bro. Right now, just let me know to it. Right, our second category shootout is London embassies. Now, despite China's current plans to build a mega embassy in Europe's biggest city, London, their current embassy really isn't much to brag about. Basically, they've wanted to update it for ages. It's actually been in the same spot since the fucking Qing Empire in 1877, making its physical legacy about as old as Canada. So yeah, for a while they've wanted to give the UK hella money to build a gigantic new embassy near the Royal Mint. But obviously the leaders of the UK, as per usual, don't want to earn money. Yeah, for those who don't know, not earning any money at all has been our key political strategy for the last decade or so. Therefore, China haven't been allowed to update their embassy and are stuck with this bullshit. Whilst, for example, Australia gets this colossal fucking palace. Like, bro, what do they even do in that embassy, bro? Haggle over the price of beer and Lebanese food in Clapham or something? Alright, bro, just wait till I show you North Korea's London embassy, though. We're talking luxury, prime real estate, $1 billion.
Let's see the money.
Yeah, so like, obviously I know a lot of middle to lower class people that live in the UK. I know some students in London that live in kind of shitty accommodation. And you know, maybe you go over to their house to hang out, have a cuppa when you're in town. This is where they live, bruh. This is their house. This is their crib. Also, not only is this shit in West London, it's in fucking Acton. You know what's in Acton? Nothing apart from knife crime and fabric shops. The London North Korean embassy, depending on the time you leave, is closer to fucking Reading than Canary Wharf. And look, I gotta respect the underdog. I gotta respect someone trying to make it out the hood. Also, I don't know if any of you have seen this North Korean propaganda girl on social media.
Nice to see you again. I'm Song I-in from Pyongyang. I'm 11 years old and 5th year in the primary school.
Can you guess where I am right now? Everything is under control as it used to be, and everyone is just fine.
There goes the bell. I gotta go. I come in spring to look at the flowers.
So cheer up.
Pyongyang, where I live, is a very beautiful and magnificent city. Have you ever been to Pyongyang? Well, if you come here, you'll be totally surprised because literally wherever you go, there are amusement parks.
But notice how she kind of has a posh British accent? That's because she's the daughter of the Vice Foreign Minister of the DPRK and spent some of her childhood living inside of this building we've been talking about. So just for the sake of lore and also just how funny it is that some guy probably called Darren has the North Korean embassy as his neighbor, they're gonna take the dub here. North Korea, 1 point up. And if I talk about embassies for any longer, I swear that they're gonna give me the Saudi treatment. So let's instead talk about Dennis Rodman cosign. Hey, North Korea 1, China 0. Sorry guys, another point up for North Korea. Yo, I got a quick little unofficial bonus round for you guys right now. Languages. Now in North Korea, they basically just speak old-fashioned Korean, which makes sense. I mean, just imagine if in the year 1945, England split into two, one half remaining socially almost exactly the same for 70 years, being closed off from the world's development in how we speak, and the other side developing alongside and very connected with the West. It would be crazy. Northerners would still be saying shit like gobbledygook or fuddy-duddy or hidey-ho, etc. So basically 26 million North Koreans speak the Korean equivalent of Winston Churchill's English.
At any rate, that is what we are going to try to do. That is the result of his measures in government.
Whereas if we look over to China, where 71% of people speak Mandarin, we therefore by far have the most spoken language on earth. 900 million people speaking the same fucking language. That's 3 times the amount of Spanish or English speakers. Absolutely insane. Which is why maybe you should consider learning Mandarin like me. And that, my friend, is where italki comes in. Using this online language learning platform, you can take personalized one-on-one lessons with native speaking teachers anytime, anywhere. Because it's just you and the teacher, you'll really focus on your speaking and listening, you know, more conversational skills, which will increase your confidence through actual interactions. For me, that's about 1,000 million times more useful than what you get out of conventional lessons. When I took language classes in school, I genuinely didn't gain any useful conversational skills. But 30 minutes on italki with my teacher, and I already had the basic phrases down.
So you could read after me. 你好.
Ni hao.
Yeah.
谢谢 is thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. The J we pronounce T. 再见。
If you want to find a mentor that's a good match for you, just like I did, italki makes it easy. There's over 30,000 teachers, and you can find the perfect one through filtering by lesson category or even where the teacher's from. And best of all, with italki, you can pay for each lesson individually. There's no subscriptions, and lessons are priced from only $5.
Yes.
You also get 3 trial lessons, which are refundable, so there's no financial risk involved.
Yes.
Start your language learning journey now with the link below in the description, and don't forget to use the promo code GEOPOLD2506, all caps. This gives the first 50 users an extra $5 when they make their first purchase of $10 or more.
Yes.
So be quick, sign up now. Next up, we got robberies. Now, the dedicated subscribers of this channel, which by the way, you could become right now with one tap of your mouse pad or your phone screen. Anyway, you motherfuckers know I'm Swedish, which means I hold some serious animosity in my heart when the words North Korea and robberies are included in the same sentence. Do you know what these damn Koreans did to my people? Do you know? Well, let me read to you what in Sweden we call a saga. 50 years ago, the North Korean regime committed the largest car robbery in human history against the Swedish government. Not a joke, I'm being 100% serious. That's right, following World War II, Sweden was pumping out lots of very reliable, well-built cars. Volvo, Saab. This is because their economy and their factories weren't blown to smithereens like the rest of Europe. For no particular reason, of course. Anyway, around this time, Volvo wanted to expand into Asia and set their sights on North Korea. Sweden became the first Western country to set up an embassy here. They were like, it's an untapped market, plus we kind of fuck with the whole leftist vibe they got going on. Shortly after this, massive trade contracts were signed, part of which included the sale of 1,000 Volvo 144s to North Korea. Kim Il-sung said he liked the rigid design, the European look, and the famed reliability. A bit like our beer. Just to clarify, not Swedish beer, European beer. So the 1,000 Volvos were shipped, and Sweden never ever heard anything back. Volvo tried again and again to get the money, even just a letter, just one last phone call, one last text confirming the breakup, any communication, please, any reply. But Kim Il-sung had already moved on, hanging out with all the cool new players like China and East Germany, refusing to even acknowledge poor Sweden's existence. And to this day, the Swedish government and Volvo never forgot. Once every 2 years, they ask Pyongyang to pay off the debt, which today, due to inflation, is roughly $314 million. This is the most debt North Korea owes to any country in the world. North Korea owe the most debt, not to China, not the US, not anyone important. Fucking Sweden, just over some Volvos, man. Best of all, they can still be seen driving around the DPRK now and then today. Most reliable cars on earth, man, I'm telling you. Swedish engineering, man. And yes, despite all this, we still have weirdly close ties to North Korea. For example, Sweden is one of the few countries to, in 2025, have an embassy in Pyongyang. An embassy that exists to do all of the USA's hard work for them as a neutral third party. Oh, and also in order to passive-aggressively tweet about Volvo sightings in the city. Still going strong. One of Volvo's from year 1974, still unpaid for by DPRK, running as taxi in Chongjin with almost 500,000 kilometers on the odometer, still unpaid for.
I don't give a fuck. It's about me and you. You say your wife's name one more time, I'm gonna delete all that motherfucking money.
Okay, well then surely China can't pull off such a equally insane heist. How could China possibly top this? What have China robbed exactly? Yeah, fair point. Now, mega projects. Look, this one's gonna be hard. This one's gonna be close. This one's gonna be a close call, I think. Because for China, we're talking north-south water transfer projects, redirecting 12 trillion gallons of water over more than 1,000 kilometers. The Three Gorges Dam, which affects the flow of water so drastically that it legitimately slows down the Earth's fucking rotation. And look, even the Great Wall of China drastically affected the entire world's course of history. And then we have a look over at of the great rivals, North Korea. We're talking 1,000 foot tall pyramid skyscrapers, one of history's largest hotels, which potentially may or may not have never received a single visitor and had its free grand openings cancelled due to the elevator shafts being low-key crooked and the country not even having access to enough raw materials to complete anything aside from the foundations and a cool LED panel. Man, fuck Gorbachev, bro. All my homies hate Gorbachev. Imagine how sick it would have been to knock back a pint of Taedong Gang in the revolving penthouse suite of a communist megalithic pyramid. We could have had it so good, bro. We could have had it so fucking good. Yeah, the only real mega project North Korea has completed to its full extent is their stadium, which, fair play to them, it is the biggest stadium on planet Earth with a seated capacity of 150,000 people. It's extremely unlikely this place has ever been full. Either way, stadiums don't really impress me, I can't lie. I actually went to what was previously the world's biggest stadium in Prague, Strahov Stadium. It kind of had some North Korea vibes, low-key, because it's now completely abandoned. And I didn't go there for anything sports or history related, no. I went there to go to a rave, and I did a load of in the locker rooms of Strahov Stadium when with my good friend Gatsu. So basically what I'm saying is Chinese mega projects kinda a bit more impressive than North Korea's. So another point up for China, taking the lead now by 1 point. Our next category up is gonna be nuclear weapons. Now, in terms of their military actions, I can't really back either of these countries, man. That's not my mans, you know. Look, both the DPRK and China are out to destroy my homies. Both have threatened to obliterate the Philippines. My boy Wow Mel's from there. Both of these countries, to different extents, arm and do business with Russia, who have attempted many times and threatened to obliterate Georgia. My boy Gatsu's from there. So it's a tricky one for me, man. Can you imagine the state of the geopolitical meme YouTube scene if either China or North Korea had their way? It would be bleak, bro. However, I will say one thing. Look at this North Korean nuclear target map. Bro, what the fuck did we do, bro? Why you say fuck me for? What the fuck? And come on now, after that warship incident in North Korea, whilst obviously, definitely 100% being an act of sabotage and criminal negligence, all I'll say is the DPRK lost a bit of aura for me right there. And on the other hand, the Chinese guys sailing all the way to Taiwan just to plant a CCP flag increased China's aura for me a bit right there. So taking recent news into account, it's going to be another point up for China. The next category up is metro systems. Now, like many similar countries in North Korea, trains are generally the way to get around, even being Kim Jong-un himself's transport method of choice, which I heavily respect. As you all know, I really love a good train. Air travel around a DPRK is very weird. Just look at the airport, you can tell no one uses it. Apparently, when you fly over North Korea, you have to close your windows. It's crazy. Basically, if you're able to get around, you're going to be using trains. However, obviously China is going to clear literally any other country, maybe with the exception of Japan, when it comes to trains, as I've previously explained. So let's instead focus on the metro systems. Now, China, yeah, it's all modern and efficient and clean and on time and perfect, but bro, just consider the aura of the Pyongyang metro system real quick. I love these communist metro systems so much, man. Pyongyang's metro reminds me so much of Tbilisi's metro. Even the cars look identical.
Hey yo, why the fuck does a metro in Pyongyang look better than the metro in the hood I grew up in? This shit looks like a fucking coal mine and they haven't fixed it for the past 7 years. Hell nah, bro. My government is so bad. Fucking North Korea cares more about their people than the Georgian government. Genuinely, look at this shit. Their metro looks objectively very good, and in Tbilisi, my old station has had no fucking roof for the last 7 years.
The mystery surrounding these underground tunnels, they're hardly ever exposed to the outside world. The little double Kims up in the train car, how deep in the fucking bedrock this all is, how it doubles as a nuclear bunker. It's just amazing to me, man. So it's gonna be another point for North Korea, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I calculated this a bit wrong, so I'm gonna give them 2 points for this, meaning we're at a draw now. which means this last round is going to be a tiebreaker. And what better category to determine our final decision than food? I don't know. It's a hard choice, man, but look, unfortunately petrol clams just aren't really to my taste. But you want to know what does taste good? Social credit scores. Thank you guys, that's right, once again we got China taking the W. And yes, for everyone asking, the luxury Chengdu penthouse is treating me well. You might be able to hear it in my voice. I've gone through approximately 8,457 packs of Chonghwas, 5,076 cans of Tsingtao, and 10,780 morning push-ups with the local elderly population. I've never felt better. And if you want to show your support for this lifestyle I'm living, please go hit that subscribe button, maybe that like button, maybe the notification button, maybe even the share button. Or I'm not making any threats, but there could be some bad repercussions coming your way from the Chinese government. Zai Qian.